Hey, what's going on, guys? Richie Fix here, back with another video, and I was not expecting to make a video today, but I'm very happy that I am, because I was scrolling through the X timeline, and out of nowhere, Paternia tweets out that Storm Collectibles has a subline called Storm Arena. Now, I am not familiar with this subline called Storm Arena, but they are going to be producing 6-inch figures, and in fact, they are going to be starting with Street Fighter as two of their first figures with this subgenre in Street Fighter Alpha 3. So, what are we going to be doing today? I have a few photos from this event. I'm not sure where this event is. I've looked, I've done research. I cannot seem to find out where these photos were taken from as far as the event. But we have some images of first prototypes of the Alpha 3 Street Fighter figures. And, well, we're going to talk about Storm Arena. And does JADA have some competition now in the 6-inch line? Very, very exciting. Let's get started. Guys, taking a look at the first photo here from Storm Arena. Again, I have no idea where this is actually at. It kind of looks like it's at Storm headquarters. Just based off the background, it looks like there's other Storm collectible booths. But this is going to be Storm Arena, and they are going to be a subline from the traditional Storm Collectibles line, a true 6-inch scale line. Now, they're going to be starting with 3 figures, 2 from Street Fighter Alpha 3, Ken and Ryu, as well as a Baki Hanma. Now, if I massacred that last name, I apologize. I do not watch that anime. I'm familiar with it. I just don't, I have not watched it. I just know of the characters from seeing other figures that Storm has done with that anime before. But taking a look at this, it's very, very exciting. Very, very exciting to see Storm dip their toe in a true 6-inch line. Now, have they seen the success that JADA has and just was like, oh yeah, there's money to be had here? I mean, I would assume that's what's going on. And you guys have always said that you wanted Street Fighter Alpha to be the next game that you'd like to see JADA make, but no one has ever been specific on which Alpha. This looks to be Street Fighter Alpha 3 from the Ken and Ryu. But initial thoughts, just kind of looking at this photo here, looks awesome. It looks like Storm quality. Storm has amazing quality, but with amazing quality comes an extreme and quality price tag. So where these are going to fall is yet to be announced, but I would assume they'd be cheaper than their traditional line. Their traditional figures usually run from about 80 to 120 bucks, just to kind of depending on the accessories and things that it comes with. But traditionally, if it was like a standard figure from Storm, it's going to be about 70 to 100 bucks, somewhere in there. And if it's more a premium figure that comes with like a throne or a big animal creature or something like that, then it can be anywhere from like 150, 120 to 190. But first photos, I'm liking what I'm seeing. Taking a look at one of the close-ups from the booth, this is going to be Ryu from the Street Fighter Alpha 3. As you can see, it's got a mock-up scale in the back along with a colored version. So I'm not quite sure what the difference is with the grayed out version in the back. The prototype, I guess you could say, compared to the one that's already posed and colored out. But immediately, I like the action grit teeth. It's just a different level of quality with Storm compared to JADA. Don't get me wrong, like JADA has some of the most amazing quality sculpts, everything for the price tag. But Storm is just that little bit more premium figure. The quality's just a little bit different. But I'm liking what I'm seeing. Immediately, it looks like just a smaller Storm, but I'm seeing a lot of similarities to JADA figures. So the fact that JADA's quality is right around Storm's with them being a quarter of the price is very, very interesting. Granted, we don't know what the price of these ones would be, but I'm just saying, I mean, they're going to have a lot to do if they want this line to really compete with JADA, even though I think this will sell fine regardless. The next photo here of the booth, just a closer up image of Ken. I'm liking immediately. Again, I'm liking everything I see here. Like, I've always been a fan of Storm Collectibles. There's always been just a few things to me that's really held Storm Collectibles back. But taking a look at this Ken figure, I like the head sculpt, I like the gi, I like the muscle texture, I like everything that I'm seeing. I do see that he has his effect piece with this Ken, where the Ryu did not have an effect piece with his grayed out model in the background. So it's cool to see that he will be coming with an effect piece. Very interested to see what Ryu's effect piece will be. Will they get the Hadoukens, the fireballs, or will it just kind of be a one thing? It's very, very interesting to kind of speculate on what's going to come with these Storm figures. Are they going to be the same price as their other figures? Are they going to be a little bit cheaper? It's very curious and very exciting to see Storm really dip their toes into this. But I'm liking everything that I'm seeing with the first two figures. Let's see what else we got. Taking a look at our first up-close image of Ryu from Street Fighter Alpha 3, and I'm in love immediately. Like, I'm so excited that Storm Collectibles is jumping in the ring directly in competition with JADA. Now, granted, they are considered a little bit more of a premium line, but you know people immediately are going to compare the two. So, I'm very curious on a couple things. One, where's this price tag at? I'm assuming that it's going to be right around the $40 to $60 range, as they are going to be smaller figures. But granted, it depends also on how much accessories are they going to come with. Are they going to come with 3 head sculpts? Is it just going to be 1? Well, immediately we know they're going to come with 2, because we've already seen kind of an action head sculpt with this Ryu. But very interested to see what they come with and where this price scale at. It's really going to determine how much in competition and the comparison is going to be with JADA. But immediately, I love that we're getting a little bit of a one-on-one combat with the 6-inch scale. But immediately, you can kind of see the texturing looks very similar to JADA on, like, the gi. But, man, the sculpts have always been a strong point for Storm. Don't get me wrong, like, JADA's sculpts are amazing too, but these just look right like, ooh, man, this is going to be a scary line. You can see immediately they have toe articulation. They do have pins, so interesting to see if this is just early prototype has pins or what happens there, but man, what a strong showing immediately. Next photo here of Ryu, we can definitely confirm there are at least going to be 2 head sculpts, as he's got an action head pose on this particular figure. Storm has great articulation. I wasn't really concerned there. You do see pins in the thighs. I wonder if final product will have pins or if it will be pinless. I would say that would be a knock immediately for Storm if they had pins in theirs, and they have been around a while where JADA comes out swinging with pinless. But it's going to be great to see the one-on-one battles and comparisons of the different lines comparing JADA to Storm. Granted, Storm is going to be a little bit pricier, I think. That's why I'm so excited about this. Are they really going to try and make these a lot cheaper, like maybe $10 more, but the quality is just insane? Like, I don't know. I have so many final thoughts that I want to go over with you guys, but I'm saving that for the final overview. Right here, you can tell the sculpts are on point and things are looking real good. Strong showings. Look at the next photo here. It's just going to be an up-close picture of Ken. And immediately, again, like, I am not as familiar with Street Fighter Alpha 3, but I'm all for it. Like, I am more than willing to get educated on this particular game so I can see what's going to be coming out, the characters, what their backstories are. Like, these look so good immediately that it's these figures that inspire the knowledge that is so cool. When a company can make such great figures that it makes you want to buy a character that you've never even heard of and find out what their backstory is and kind of everything about them, you know that they're doing a good job. And Ken, definitely a different head sculpt than I'm used to seeing. Obviously, it's not the traditional Ken. This is the Street Fighter Alpha 3, but you can see the texturing. Like, there are a lot of, similarities to the JADA product, as the gi kind of has that same texturing as JADA's does. And then obviously, the main difference is going to be just the sculpts. Like, these are bulkier. Storm does kind of have, like, its own articulation system with the joints and everything just looking a certain way. But immediately, like I said, I'm going to be all in on this, but I got to find out a price tag, because that's really going to determine how, where we're at in the big battle of things. At the last up-close photo of Ken, no different head sculpt here, as it is just going to be the same one, just a different action pose. And again, like I said, immediately I'm blown away by the sculpts. Everything looks good. The articulation looks good. I'm liking everything I'm seeing. It's Storm quality, just in a 6-inch scale. I'm absolutely in love, and I'm beyond ecstatic that they are jumping in the 6-inch line. I think so many people have been wanting them to do this, but there are a lot of questions, a lot of concerns, and that's where really I'm going to wrap things up here. Let's get into the final overview and the final thoughts of this new Storm Arena 6-inch line. Final thoughts and final overview for this new announcement from the Subline Storm Arena 6-inch figures. I'm excited. I'm excited because now, regardless if JADA considers this a competition or Storm considers this a competition or not, it's gonna be amongst the community. But there are definitely some concerns when it comes to Storm, and that's where I kind of take, a little precaution. I calm my jets a little bit because Storm has not had a lot of positivity with their name over the past year or so. At least in my opinion. Like I said, that's just my opinion because, one, I saw absolutely no coverage of Storm Collectibles or this Storm Arena line at San Diego Comic-Con. So that's right there, one of the biggest events of the year for toy companies, and I absolutely saw no presence of Storm Collectibles at that event. So I don't even know if they were there. I didn't see anything new from them, and for them just to announce this on a regular, on a random Tuesday in October, that's interesting. And then two, where's the pricing on this? Because the main thing that people love about JADA toys so much is the pricing, the quality, and everything that you get with these. If they can stay in the $40, $60 price tag, they're really going to be in some awesome competition with JADA. And then just that, I feel like this is going to push both companies to strive to make better and better figures. Another thing I am concerned about is we are starting out with 2 figures for this line. So there are a lot of characters in this roster that I'm seeing for Street Fighter Alpha 3. 2 figures is nice, but they're really going to need to step up production and announcing new characters and getting those out. One thing that JADA does really well is that they not only have a lot of characters, but they get them out relatively quickly, where Storm will announce something and then take forever to actually get the product on the shelf. And by the time that the product hits the shelf, it's lost absolutely all its momentum. So Storm, if they can get these out this year, then I see them carrying a lot of momentum, a lot of excitement, and really getting this line off the ground. If we see these pictures and then we don't get these figures till late next year, it'll probably still be exciting, but like I said, just a lot of the wind out of the sails will be lost. And then from there, it's just, like I said, it's just classic Storm, waiting forever. Granted, the figures are always awesome, but man, you sure as hell got, I sit here and complain about JADA sometimes and waiting for their figures. Storm is like them on steroids on waiting. So that's where I really get concerned with this new line, but maybe this is the big reveal and the big product they've been working on, because they did lose Mortal Kombat. I didn't see a presence at Comic-Con, so maybe this is what they've been working on. Now is the time. Maybe they show up to New York Comic-Con and really come out with a boom. I mean, how crazy would that be if they just had these figures at New York Comic-Con and they were good to go? Like, that would be nuts. So I'm very curious, very interested, but yet at the same time very wary, because while Storm does excellent execution on their figures, I'm just concerned about price, productivity, variety as far as getting more characters out, and overall execution. That's the main word I concern myself with in Storm Arena in this line, is execution. Can they execute? That is going to be the main thing. And I'm curious to see what you guys think, where you guys are at. Are you willing to jump into Storm Arena? Is it going to really just come down to cost? Are you out on Storm entirely and just sticking to JADA? I know a lot of you guys have been excited for Street Fighter Alpha. Nobody has ever said Street Fighter Alpha 3 in specific. You guys have always just said Street Fighter Alpha, but this is Street Fighter Alpha 3. So I don't know where your guys' fandom lies with this particular game, but here we are, Storm Arena. They're jumping into the arena, into the ring with JADA Toys in the 6-inch line, and I'm all for it, baby. So we have a new line to look out for in Storm Arena. I'm excited regardless. I'm just a little cautious here on, tempering my excitement, because Storm, they are like... They are the ones to bring you up, but my God, they'll let you fall fast too. So Other than that, guys, hopefully you enjoyed it. I really rambled here at the long, but I was just so excited to see this come out, and I'm very curious to see what your guys' thoughts are. So other than that, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this. If you did, make sure you like the video, subscribe if you're new. Richie Figs. Later.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4,